This audiobook unveils the sacred truth of the gift of the universe. Every longing in your heart is a divine seed, already complete in the unseen realms, awaiting your recognition. As you listen, you'll step into the art of attraction and awaken the abundance that is your birthright. The gift of universe. Introduction. The universe does not merely exist around you. It breathes through you, whispering its truths in silence and declaring its power in thunder. Every moment is a sacred messenger, every circumstance a veiled teaching, and every challenge a doorway into hidden wisdom. What you hear now is not comfort, but eternal truth, carried through the ages to those prepared to listen with the ears of the soul. The gift of the universe lies not in spoken words, but in vibration itself. Like calls to like, the frequency of your being shapes the fabric of your reality, drawing toward you its perfect reflection. This is the hidden current of the law of attraction, precise as a mathematician's formula, and wondrous as a mystic's vision. You stand before a threshold where ancient wisdom meets your present power. This book is not chance, it is a sign. The universe has chosen this moment because you are ready, and readiness itself is proof that the unseen hand of creation already moves on your behalf. To awaken to this knowledge is to remember you are not separate from the infinite. You are its living expression, its radiant channel, its beloved child. Align with this truth, and you awaken the same power that once carved valleys, raised mountains, and parted seas. The art of attraction asks both precision and surrender, the clarity of science, and the faith of mystery. Your thoughts are seeds scattered into eternity. Your emotions are the rain, and your beliefs are the roots that anchor them deep into reality's soil. These laws are eternal, unchanging, and ever-present. Passed down through the lineage of seekers, they have awaited your recognition. They are not hidden. They shine in plain sight, guiding all existence with perfect harmony. What you hold now is no ordinary book. It is a key. Each truth revealed is a doorway, each practice a sacred instrument unlocking the boundless palace of possibility. The gift of the universe is ready to meet your awakened heart with its infinite abundance, its joy, and its unshakable fulfillment. But before we begin, please hit the like button and let me know where in the world you're watching from today. It's always fascinating seeing who's joining us from around the world. Part 1. The Awakening of Desire. Chapter 1. The Whisper Within. In a quiet village among rolling hills lived a young woman named Millie. Each morning she would wake before dawn to tend her small garden, content with its modest yield. Yet one spring morning, as she knelt in the soil, an unfamiliar feeling stirred within her heart. A gentle whisper suggesting that more awaited her. When you feel such stirrings in your soul, recognize them as sacred messages from the universe itself. These desires that arise within you are not born of greed or discontent. They are divine inspirations, celestial seeds planted in the fertile soil of your consciousness. The universe speaks through your deepest yearnings, using them as compass points to guide you toward your highest potential. Many souls mistake their desires for selfish wants, but this understanding stems from limited vision. Your authentic desires emerge from the infinite wisdom of the universe, which knows the full scope of your potential. When you feel pulled toward greater abundance, it is because abundance already exists in the quantum field, waiting to manifest through you. In a distant mountain town dwelt an aged wanderer named Kamal, who spent his days following what he called the song of the wind. When asked why he never settled in one place, he would smile and say, "The wind carries melodies from realms unseen, and each note speaks of treasures waiting to be discovered. To ignore these songs would be to deny the universe its joy of giving." This tale carries a precious truth. The longings you feel are not random impulses, but cosmic invitations. Every desire that springs from your authentic self exists because its fulfillment already lives in the unseen dimensions of reality. Like a flower that pushes through soil because sunlight awaits above, your desires reach toward manifestation because their completion already exists in potential form. The universe operates through a principle of completion. Nothing is born in consciousness without its fulfillment being simultaneously created in the spiritual realm. Your task is not to force these desires into being, but to align yourself with their natural unfolding. The ancient practice of sacred desire. As you prepare for sleep each night, find a quiet moment to commune with the universe. Close your eyes and bring to mind your truest desire, not from a place of lack, but from a space of sacred connection. Whisper this desire as though sharing a precious secret with the cosmos itself. Envision it cradled in hands of pure light, already complete in the ethereal realms, simply waiting for the perfect moment to enter your physical reality. Let this practice be your nightly ritual of trust and alignment with the universe's infinite abundance. Chapter 2. The Mirror of Belief. In a bustling coastal town, Clara, a talented artisan, crafted intricate jewelry pieces that captured the beauty of the sea. Though her work brought joy to others, she saw herself as insignificant, a mere drop in the vast ocean of life. Your thoughts shape the very fabric of your reality with more precision than the finest jeweler's tools. When you hold a belief about yourself, you are not merely observing, you are creating. Like Clara, you may have accepted limitations that were never truly yours to bear. In the depths of her self-doubt, Clara found an unexpected mentor in Sophia, a wise woman who recognized the divine spark within her. "The universe," Sophia explained, "does not see you through the lens of your doubts, but through the pure light of possibility. Your belief is the mirror that shapes how the world reflects back to you. This truth stands eternal. Thoughts held with unwavering certainty become magnetic forces, drawing to you the very experiences that match their vibration. When you shift your inner dialogue from limitation to possibility, the universe responds not to your words, but to the energetic signature of your conviction. In lands far to the east lived a farmer named Rajan, who knew only drought. Year after year, his fields lay barren under relentless sun. His neighbors had long abandoned their lands, but something stirred in Rajan's heart, a courage to believe in rain. Each morning, he would walk his parched fields, feeling the coolness of rain upon his skin before a single cloud appeared. Within one season, the skies opened, blessing not only his lands, but the entire valley with abundance. Like Rajan, you hold the power to transform your reality through the steadfast power of belief. Your thoughts are not mere musings floating in the void. They are seeds planted in the fertile soil of universal intelligence. Each belief you nurture grows into the garden of your experience. The ancient practice of mirror reflection. Stand before your mirror each morning as the sun rises. Let your gaze meet your own with gentle power. Speak one affirmation that resonates with the truth of your being, not as a hope or wish, but as a recognition of what already exists in the spiritual realm. Let your words fall like gentle water upon fertile soil, nourishing the growing certainty within. This is not an exercise in imagination, but a moment of alignment with your highest truth. Choose an affirmation that feels like a key, turning in a lock, opening doors to your natural state of abundance and power. Speak it with the quiet authority of one who knows that the universe already holds this truth as completed fact. Chapter 3. The Language of Gratitude. In a village among ancient hills lived Eleanor, whose life seemed ordinary in every way. Each morning she would wake to the same routine, walk the same paths, and return to her modest home as the sun set. Yet one day, while gathering herbs from her small garden, she noticed how the morning dew made her basil leaves shimmer like precious gems. For the first time she paused to appreciate this simple beauty. That moment marked the beginning of her transformation. As Eleanor began acknowledging these small gifts, the warmth of sunlight on her face, the aroma of fresh bread from her neighbor's window, the melody of birdsong at dawn, something remarkable occurred. Her garden began yielding more abundant harvests. Neighbors started bringing extra portions of their meals. An unexpected inheritance arrived from a distant relative she had once helped in childhood. The universe operates through an eternal law. What you appreciate, appreciates. When you tune your heart to the frequency of gratitude, you align with the natural flow of abundance. Like a radio receiving clear signals, your grateful heart becomes an antenna for receiving life's bounties. This is not mere coincidence, but the operation of cosmic law. Gratitude transforms the ordinary into the extraordinary because it shifts your vibration from lack to abundance. When you recognize the wealth already present in your life, you broadcast to the universe that you are ready to receive more. This is not about pretending satisfaction with less than you desire, but about acknowledging the stream of good already flowing through your life. In distant waters sailed Thomas, a weathered captain who discovered this truth through storms and calm seas alike. While other sailors cursed the threatening clouds, Thomas would stand at the helm, singing prayers of thanks for his strong vessel, for his skilled crew, for the adventure of being alive. Other captains mocked his practice until they noticed a peculiar pattern. Whenever Thomas sang his gratitude, the fiercest storms would gentle themselves, as if the very elements responded to his appreciation. This tale mirrors an essential truth. Gratitude is not merely a response to good fortune. It is the very power that summons it. Just as Thomas's thankful heart seemed to command the elements, your grateful spirit orchestrates harmonious conditions in your life. Ancient practice. As the day draws to a close, sit in quietude and speak aloud 3 blessings from your day. Let them be as simple as a kind word received or as grand as an unexpected gift. Voice them with the reverence of a sacred chant, allowing each expression of gratitude to resonate through your being like a celestial hymn. This practice, performed faithfully, opens channels through which greater abundance can flow. Chapter 4. The Power of Imagination. In a small village among ancient hills, Harriet spent her mornings with a leather-bound journal, its chapters drinking in the watercolors that flowed from her brush. While others saw blank chapters, she painted scenes of abundance, gardens bursting with life, a healing center filled with light, and streams of joy flowing through her community. Each stroke of color wasn't mere artistry, but a declaration to the universe of what she knew existed in the unseen realms. The universe responds not to what your eyes perceive, but to what your spirit envisions with unwavering certainty. When you paint pictures in your mind of what you desire, you aren't creating fiction. You're connecting with a reality that already exists in the infinite field of possibilities. Your imagination serves as a bridge between the visible and invisible worlds, transforming potential into manifested experience. The act of imagining with feeling builds a magnetic force that draws circumstances, people, and opportunities into alignment with your vision. As you hold these images in your consciousness, the universe begins its sacred dance of rearrangement, bringing the unseen into form through the law of creative visualization. In a distant mountain village lived a young boy named Thomas who carried a worn sketchbook everywhere he went. Each day, he would sit by the flowing river and draw the same scene: a beautiful home with wide windows and a garden where the water's song could always be heard. His family had little, yet he drew this vision hundreds of times, feeling the warmth of sunlight through those windows, hearing the river's melody, touching the smooth wooden railings of his imagined home. Years passed, and Thomas grew into a man. One spring morning, while walking along a different river's edge, he stopped, breathless. There before him stood the exact home he had sketched countless times in his youth. Every detail matched, down to the way morning light played upon the windows. The owner, preparing to move, felt drawn to offer the home to Thomas at a price he could afford. The universe had been crafting this moment all along, guided by the unwavering pictures in a child's mind. This truth stands eternal. What you imagine with consistency and feeling becomes the blueprint the universe uses to construct your reality. Your inner visions are not escapes from reality. They are the seeds of what is to come. Sacred practice. Each day, find a quiet space where you won't be disturbed. For 5 minutes, close your eyes and picture one specific detail of your desired life. Perhaps it's the key to your new home, the smile of a loved one, or the feeling of abundance flowing through your hands. Hold this image with such clarity that you can touch it, feel it, know it. Let your whole being resonate with its reality, for in the eternal now, it already exists. This is not daydreaming. It is the ancient art of calling forth what awaits you. Chapter 5. The River of Allowing. In a village among ancient hills lived Beulah, a weaver known for her exquisite tapestries. Each day she would grip her threads with such force that her fingers ached, determined to force every strand into perfect position. Yet the tighter she held, the more the patterns twisted, until her beautiful designs became tangled masses of knots. The wisdom of allowing flows like water through the corridors of time, not as weakness, but as the highest form of strength. When you release your iron grip on life's threads, you create space for the universe to weave its magic. This is not abandonment of desire, but rather an embrace of divine timing. The universe operates through a paradox. The more you try to force its hand, the more it slips through your fingers. Yet when you soften your grasp, abundance flows naturally into your open palms. This is the sacred art of allowing, the gentle recognition that while action has its place, Surrender holds the key to manifestation. Think of your desires as birds. Hold them too tightly, and they struggle against your grip. Open your hands, and they remain freely by your side, singing their sweet melodies. This is the way of universal law, not through domination, but through harmonious partnership. In a distant coastal town lived a fisherman named Ravi, who cast his nets each dawn with desperate determination. His hands would bleed from pulling so hard, yet his catches grew smaller by the day. One morning, exhausted, he finally loosened his grip on the nets. To his amazement, they settled more naturally in the water, and that day he drew in the most abundant catch of his life. This simple tale carries timeless truth. When you cease struggling against the current of life, you align with its natural flow. Ravi's story mirrors your own journey with manifestation. The universe responds not to force, but to faith, not to demand, but to trust. Each time tension rises in your body, when worry clouds your mind, or when you feel the need to control every detail, pause. Take a deep breath and softly speak these words. I release control. Feel the immediate shift as your shoulders relax and your mind clears. This is not merely relaxation. It is alignment with universal power. This practice, passed down through generations of wise ones, opens the channels through which abundance naturally flows. With each release, you declare your trust in the perfect unfolding of life's plan. Chapter 6. The Seeds of Words. On a bustling market street, Dorothy watched as every complaint she voiced materialized into fresh delays. Her words about the endless lines drew more customers before her. Her muttering about slow service caused the merchant to count his coins twice. With each frustrated sigh, the world seemed to echo her discontent back to her, until a simple trip became an endless journey. The power held within your spoken words transcends mere communication. It is the very force through which you paint your reality. Each utterance sends ripples through the invisible fabric of creation, commanding the universe to align with your proclamations. Your words are not mere descriptions of what is, but declarations of what shall be. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, does not judge between positive and negative proclamations. It simply responds with unwavering precision to whatever you speak into existence. When you proclaim lack, lack multiplies. When you declare abundance, abundance flows. This is the ancient law that shapes the visible from the invisible. Think of your words as seeds planted in fertile soil. Each complaint is a thistle, each blessing a flower, each declaration a tree that will bear fruit in its season. The harvest of your life grows from the seeds of your speech. In a small village school, there lived a teacher named Amara, who spoke only of her students' struggles and failures. Her classroom became heavy with disappointment, until one day, wisdom touched her heart. She began speaking of potential instead of problems, of growth instead of shortcomings. Within weeks, the same children who had struggled began to flourish, their achievements matching the new words she spoke over them. Amara's transformation reveals the profound truth that lies before you. The world rearranges itself to match your declarations. Her story is not merely about positive thinking. It is about the creative power woven into every word you speak. Each sunrise brings a fresh page upon which to write your story. Stand in the first light of dawn, when the world is quiet and receptive, and speak one sentence that calls forth your desired reality. Let your words ring with the certainty of truth already manifested. Step into your day carrying this declaration like a torch, illuminating the path before you. This practice, honored since time immemorial, activates the creative force within your words, transforming mere wishes into living realities. Chapter 7. The Silence That Speaks. An old tale speaks of Edith, who lived among the bustling streets of a marketplace where merchants called their wares from dawn until dusk. Each day she searched for answers about her path forward, but found only the clamor of countless voices drowning out her inner knowing. In those days, Edith sought wisdom in books, in conversations, in endless activities meant to reveal her purpose. Yet the more she searched, the more confused she became, until exhaustion led her to a small garden hidden behind ancient walls. There, in that sanctuary of green, she discovered what centuries of mystics have known. The universe speaks most clearly in silence. As the noise of the world fell away, Edith began to sense subtle currents of guidance flowing through her consciousness, like gentle streams of light. The truth remains eternal. Silence is not empty. It is full of answers. When you still the endless chatter of your mind, you create space for divine wisdom to emerge, like a lake that must be calm to reflect the stars above. Your consciousness must quiet to mirror the universe's guidance. This silence is not passive, but deeply receptive. It is the soil in which intuition blooms, where inspiration takes root, where the voice of infinite intelligence becomes clear. In stillness, you begin to perceive the delicate threads of synchronicity weaving through your life. Once there lived a gardener who tended the royal gardens with great effort, constantly working, digging, pruning. Despite his labor, the gardens remained ordinary until one day, overcome with weariness, he simply sat beside a rose bush. In that quiet moment, he noticed for the first time how the morning light touched each petal differently, how the leaves turned to catch the sun, how the roots knew exactly where to grow. In stillness, he learned the language of growing things, and from that day forward, the garden flourished beyond imagination. This simple truth reflects your own journey. When you rush through life, forcing solutions, demanding answers, you often miss the subtle guidance being offered in each moment. The universe communicates through gentle nudges, quiet knowings, and peaceful certainty, all of which become apparent only in stillness. The wisdom lies clear. Create space each day for sacred silence. In these moments of quiet communion, the universe reveals its paths, not through thunderous proclamation, but through the soft certainty that rises from your depths. Practice. Create a space of silence, 5 minutes daily. Listen not for words, but for the hum of life carrying you. Chapter 8. The Compass of Joy. In the heart of a bustling marketplace, Florence stood among merchants hawking their wares, her eyes drawn to an old woman whose laughter rang out like silver bells. While others haggled with furrowed brows, this merchant wrapped her goods in smiles, her stall somehow attracting twice the customers of any other. The universe speaks through joy, not through strain. When you align with the natural current of delight, you discover a truth as ancient as the stars themselves. Joy is not mere pleasure, but a compass pointing toward your highest good. Like water flowing downhill, joy shows the path of least resistance, the natural way forward that the universe has already prepared. Think of joy as the language of light. When you speak it fluently, the universe responds in kind, reorganizing circumstances to match your vibration. Your task is not to force outcomes through sheer will, but to follow the trail of what brings your heart alive. This is not frivolity. It is divine navigation. Watch how children naturally gravitate toward what brings them joy. They have not yet learned to doubt this inner guidance system. Their laughter is pure wisdom, their delight a perfect prayer. The universe responds to this authentic expression by opening doors that strain and struggle keep firmly shut. In a distant valley lived a dancer named Amara, who faced seemingly insurmountable challenges in establishing her dance academy. Rather than meeting each obstacle with worry, she chose to dance through her difficulties, finding humor in the setbacks and joy in small progress. When funds ran low, she laughed and held impromptu performances in the town square. When her building lease fell through, she twirled in the rain and taught classes in the park. Strange things began to happen. A wealthy patron, enchanted by her joyful persistence, offered a permanent space. Students multiplied, drawn not just by her technique, but by her luminous spirit. What others might have seen as barriers became stepping stones, transformed by the alchemy of her joy. This tale reminds us that joy is not just a reaction to good fortune. It is the very force that attracts it. Like a flower turning toward the sun, your natural state of joy aligns you with the universe's endless flow of abundance. When you choose joy, you choose the fastest path to manifestation. The ancient practice passed down through generations teaches us this truth. Consciously add one act daily that sparks joy, a song, a smile, a dance, and let it steer your being. This is not an indulgence, but a sacred practice, as vital as breath itself. Through this simple ritual, you attune yourself to the frequency of creation, becoming a living invitation for more of life's treasures to find their way to you. Chapter 9. The Energy Exchange. In a small mountain village, there lived a weaver named Hazel who crafted beautiful tapestries. Though her means were modest, she found herself drawn to share her creations freely with those who expressed joy at their beauty. When travelers admired her work, she would often gift them smaller pieces, saying, "The threads of life weave us all together." As seasons passed, Hazel noticed something remarkable. The more freely she gave, the more abundance flowed into her life. Wool appeared at her doorstep, left by shepherds who had received her gifts. Dyes arrived from merchants who remembered her generosity. Her small home filled with light and warmth. This truth echoes through the ages. Giving and receiving are not opposing forces, but the same energy in eternal motion. Like breathing, neither the inhale nor exhale can exist without the other. The universe operates in cycles of endless circulation, where every gift given opens a channel for receiving. When you close your hand tightly around what you possess, you also close it to what seeks to enter. But when you open your palm in generosity, that same open hand becomes ready to receive. This is not merely about material exchange. It is the fundamental rhythm of life itself. In a distant city lived a baker named Thomas who understood this principle without knowing he understood it. Each morning, he would place fresh loaves in baskets outside his shop, free for those who couldn't afford to pay. "Bread is life," he would say, "and life must flow." Others warned him of ruin, but Thomas continued his practice with joy. Soon, mysterious things began to happen. A merchant who had taken a free loaf returned to place a large order for his trade ships. A grateful mother whose children had eaten Thomas's bread told her brother, who owned grain fields, about the baker's kindness. The brother offered Thomas first choice of his finest wheat at half the usual price. Within a year, Thomas's bakery had grown into the most prosperous in the city. The meaning speaks clearly through both stories. What you give creates the space for what you receive. Yet the giving must be pure, not a calculated exchange, but a genuine expression of abundance consciousness. True giving carries the joy of release, not the weight of expectation. Ancient practice. Each day, offer one act of giving, be it material or intangible. Share a smile, extend a helping hand, give praise, or offer a material gift. Do this not with thought of return, but with the pure delight of sharing. Watch as the universe, in its infinite wisdom, creates new channels for abundance to flow back to you. Chapter 10. The Divine Patience. In the heart of an ancient valley, Ida tended her garden with growing impatience. Day after day she watched for signs of the rare golden roses she had planted months ago, yet only green leaves emerged. Her heart ached with waiting, and frustration clouded her spirit like morning mist that refuses to lift. You see, within each moment of waiting lies a sacred mystery. The universe moves not by the tempo of human desire, but by the rhythm of perfect unfoldment. Just as fruit ripens in its season, and stars traverse their celestial paths in measured time, so too do your desires manifest according to divine timing. When you plant a seed, you do not stand guard demanding its immediate sprouting. You understand that beneath the soil, invisible forces work in precise sequence. First, the seed must crack open. Then roots must stretch downward, gathering strength before the first tender shoot can reach toward light. This same wisdom governs all manifestation. What appears as delay is often the universe aligning countless elements on your behalf. Each moment of waiting serves to attune your vibration more perfectly with your desire. Like an instrument being carefully tuned, this adjustment ensures that when manifestation arrives, it resonates with absolute harmony in your life. In a distant monastery garden lived a woman named Rose, who dreamed of cultivating rare midnight lilies. These flowers were known to bloom only under specific conditions. Month after month, Rose waited, tending the bulbs with unwavering attention. Others suggested she plant easier flowers, but Rose understood something vital about nature's timing. One night, as moonlight painted silver patterns across her garden, Rose discovered why the lilies had waited so long. These extraordinary blooms required precisely 6 hours of morning light, followed by afternoon shade, and finally the touch of moonlight at exactly midnight. The timing had to be perfect, not a moment too soon or too late. When the lilies finally opened their midnight blue petals, their beauty far exceeded anything Rose had imagined. This tale mirrors the truth of your own unfolding desires. What seems like delay is actually the universe orchestrating optimal conditions. Just as those midnight lilies required specific elements to align, your manifestations are being perfected through divine timing. The waiting period is not a void. It is a sacred space where alignment occurs. Ancient practice. In every moment of longing, pause and whisper gently, all is on its way. Let these words be a balm to your spirit, blessing both the waiting and the arrival. This practice transforms the space of waiting from emptiness to sacred preparation, acknowledging that divine timing never falters, never fails, but moves with perfect precision toward your highest good. Part 2. The Alignment of Power. Chapter 11. The Alchemy of Focus. Along an ancient trade route, a merchant named Josie carried an array of wares: spices from distant lands, silks from eastern kingdoms, precious gems from mountain mines. Each day she darted between market stalls, displaying her countless treasures, yet found herself exhausted by sunset, with few sales to show for her efforts. The universal law speaks clearly on this matter. Energy flows where attention goes. Like sunlight passing through a magnifying glass, your focused thought concentrates power into a single point of creation. When you scatter your attention across many desires, each receives only a fraction of your manifesting power. Think of the universe as an infinite ocean of possibility. Each thought you hold sends ripples across its surface. When you cast many stones simultaneously, the ripples intersect and diminish each other. But when you drop one stone with intention, its ripples travel uninterrupted, reaching further shores. Your attention is not merely observation. It is a creative force that charges reality with life-giving energy. What you consistently focus upon must expand, for this is the nature of universal law. As sunflowers turn their faces to follow the sun, so does the universe respond to your sustained attention. In a quiet mountain village lived an artist named Chen, who filled his studio with dozens of half-finished paintings. His talent touched each canvas, but none received the full measure of his gift. Visitors praised his potential, but left without purchasing his work. One day, a wise elder entered his studio and asked, "Which painting calls to your soul the loudest?" Chen pointed to a sketch of morning light breaking through mountain mist. The elder nodded and said, "Now let all others sleep while this one awakens." Chen covered his other canvases and poured his entire being into that single painting. Weeks passed as he layered colors and light with unwavering focus. When finished, the painting seemed to breathe with life, and collectors traveled from distant lands to behold it. His success from this one masterpiece exceeded all his previous scattered efforts combined. This truth lies before you now. Focus transforms mere effort into pure creative fire. When you choose one point of attention and honor it fully, you activate the universe's infinite organizing power. Your concentrated thought becomes a beacon, drawing to itself all elements needed for manifestation. Ancient practice. Each day, choose one sacred focus, one thought, one project, one vision, and honor it with your full gaze until it glows. Let all other desires rest quietly while you pour your creative energy into this single point of light. Feel its increasing warmth as your sustained attention fans it into flame. Chapter 12. The Magnetic Heart. In a bustling city of numbers and schedules lived Janet, a woman who measured life in calculated steps. Each morning she wrote detailed lists of goals, analyzed probabilities, and charted her path with precision. Yet despite her thorough planning, abundance seemed to dance just beyond her reach, as if mocking her careful equations. The universe operates through vibration, and no force vibrates more powerfully than love. While the mind seeks to dissect and understand, the heart knows how to sing to the cosmos in its own language. Your thoughts may reach far, but your heart's frequency travels infinitely further, touching realms where logic cannot venture. When you radiate love, pure, unconditional and free from calculation, you align with the highest creative force in existence. This is not mere sentiment, but rather the most practical truth in all universal law. Love dissolves resistance, transforms circumstances, and creates channels through which abundance naturally flows. Consider how a flower opens not through force or reasoning, but through its natural response to warmth and light. Similarly, your heart's electromagnetic field, when tuned to love's frequency, creates a natural opening through which the universe pours its gifts. There once lived an elderly man named Thomas who lost his beloved wife after 50 years of marriage. His neighbors watched with concern as he spoke softly to his barren garden each morning, expressing love to every dormant seed and withered stem. "You are beautiful," he would whisper to empty soil. "You are cherished," he told the bare branches. To everyone's amazement, his garden began to transform. Flowers bloomed out of season, vegetables grew in abundant clusters, and plants flourished beyond their natural cycles. When asked about his secret, Thomas simply smiled and said, "I give them the same love I gave my wife." The flowers know no difference between the love meant for them and the love meant for her. They simply feel it and respond. This simple truth reveals itself. Where your heart leads with love, life responds with miraculous abundance. The universe recognizes love's vibration as the highest order of creation, responding not to what you think you deserve, but to what you're willing to feel and share. Ancient practice. Place your palms over your heart each morning. Breathe deeply and whisper, "I radiate love. I receive love." Chapter 13. The Symphony of Emotion. Catherine lived behind walls of carefully constructed composure. Each morning she arranged her face into a pleasant mask, tucking away any hint of deeper feeling. When joy bubbled up, she tamped it down. When sorrow welled within her, she swallowed it like bitter medicine. Her life moved in measured steps, safe but colorless, until the day she witnessed an old woman weeping openly in a garden. The universe speaks through the language of emotion. Each feeling that rises within you carries a message, a sacred signal from the infinite intelligence that guides all things. Your tears hold wisdom. Your laughter carries light. Your anger points toward what needs transformation. Your joy whispers of alignment. Those who master manifestation understand that emotions are not obstacles to overcome, but rather instruments through which the universe plays its song. When you honor each feeling as it arises, accepting its presence without judgment, you tune yourself to the frequencies of creation. Like a radio seeking clear reception, your emotional honesty allows you to receive life's fullest broadcast. Resistance to emotion creates stagnation in the flow of universal energy. By accepting the full spectrum of your feelings, you open channels through which abundance can flow. This is not an invitation to dwell in lower vibrations, but rather to acknowledge them as teachers, using their energy to lift yourself higher. In a distant valley, there lived a musician named Thomas, who lost his beloved wife. Rather than hiding from his grief, he sat with his violin each evening, allowing his sorrow to flow through the strings. Night after night, he transformed his pain into melody. As months passed, his compositions began to change. The notes of anguish gradually lifted into something new. a piece of music so beautiful that those who heard it felt their own hearts healing. Thomas discovered what the ancients knew: emotion is energy in motion. When allowed to flow naturally, it becomes a force of transformation. His willingness to feel deeply became the very current that carried him back to joy. The music he created touched thousands, turning personal pain into universal healing. Your emotions are not your enemies. They are messengers carrying sacred information about your alignment with the universe's flow. When you greet them with acceptance, they become allies in your journey of manifestation. Like Thomas with his violin, you can transform any feeling into the music of creation. Each day presents an opportunity to honor your emotional truth. When you feel without resistance, when you allow your heart its full voice, you activate the magnetic power of authenticity. This opens the way for the universe to respond to your genuine frequency, bringing experiences that match your true vibration. Allow each emotion its song. Journal or speak it freely, then guide it upward into gratitude. Before we get into the next chapter, you can download a free ebook version of this audiobook using the link in the pinned comment below this video. Chapter 14. The Bridge of Faith. In a small village among ancient hills, there lived a woman named Louise, who possessed remarkable talents, yet hesitated at every threshold of opportunity. Each morning she would gaze at her reflection, seeing only shadows of doubt where light should have dwelled. Her hands, capable of creating beauty, often trembled with uncertainty. The universe speaks through the language of faith, for it is the invisible thread that connects your present moment to the destiny that awaits you. Faith is not mere hope cast into darkness. It is the light that illuminates the path before your feet touch the ground. When you step forward in complete trust, the universe rushes to place solid ground beneath each footfall. Your thoughts, when infused with unwavering faith, become architects of reality. The difference between those who manifest their desires and those who merely dream lies not in their worthiness, but in their willingness to cross the bridge of faith. This bridge exists in the realm of spirit before it materializes in the world of form. In the mountains far to the east, there lived a child named Yin, who taught his entire village about the power of absolute trust. One autumn morning, as the village gathered to construct a bridge across a steep ravine, Yin noticed a wooden plank that had not yet been secured. While the adults debated the best way to fasten it, Yin stepped onto the plank with the innocence of pure faith. His footsteps were steady, his eyes fixed forward, his heart knowing only certainty. The villagers gasped, but Yin crossed safely, demonstrating that faith itself creates the very foundation we fear might be missing. This tale speaks directly to your own journey. Like Yin, you stand before your own ravine of uncertainty. The bridge to your desires exists already in the realm of spirit, waiting only for your faith to make it visible. Every doubt you release becomes a plank secured. Every moment of trust strengthens the bridge beneath your feet. The universe responds not to your words or wishes, but to the unwavering certainty in your heart. When you walk as though your desired reality is already manifest, you transform the invisible bridge into solid ground. Faith is not the absence of doubt, but the presence of trust that towers above it. Ancient practice of faith. Manifestation. Whenever doubt casts its shadow across your path, pause and whisper with quiet authority, "It is already mine." Walk forward with the confidence of one who knows the bridge will hold, for in truth, it already does. This practice aligns your energy with the certainty of manifestation, transforming faith from a concept into a living force that carries you toward your destiny. Chapter 15. The Sanctuary of Presence. In a small mountain village, Mabel rushed through her days, her mind perpetually racing toward tomorrow. Each morning brought a frenzied list of tasks, each evening closed with worry about future possibilities. Though blessed with abundance, she remained blind to it, her eyes fixed on distant horizons where she imagined true fulfillment waited. The universe speaks through unexpected messengers. For Mabel, wisdom arrived through an aging shepherd who spent his days in perfect contentment among his flock. One morning, as she hurried past his meadow, he called out, "The grass beneath your feet holds more treasure than all your tomorrows combined." Here lies a truth as old as time itself. The present moment is the only gateway through which the universe can deliver its gifts. When you chase tomorrow's promises, you stand with your back to the very door where abundance waits. The now is not merely a passing instant. It is the eternal meeting place between your consciousness and universal power. Your ability to manifest flows exclusively through this moment. When your mind dwells in future fears or past regrets, you become like a channel turned away from its source. Yet when you align with the present, you open yourself to the full force of universal abundance. In distant mountains lived a young woman who dreamed of creating the most beautiful garden in the valley. Each day she planned elaborate designs for tomorrow's planting, sketching layouts and imagining future blooms. So focused was she on tomorrow's garden that she failed to notice a magnificent butterfly that visited her window each morning, carrying pollen that could have transformed her current plot into paradise. Season after season passed, while the miracle she sought danced untouched before her eyes. This tale mirrors your own journey. The universe constantly offers perfect opportunities, precise alignments, and abundant possibilities, all within this sacred moment. Yet how often do these gifts go unclaimed, while your attention reaches toward an imagined future? To manifest with power is to recognize that everything you seek exists now. Each breath draws you deeper into alignment with universal forces. Each conscious moment opens new pathways for abundance to flow. The present is not a stepping stone to your desires. It is the very fountain from which they spring. When you fully inhabit this moment, you stand at the crossroads where human intention meets divine orchestration. Here, in this eternal now, all possibilities converge. Your power to create, to attract, to transform. It all exists in this single point of time. The ancient practice handed down through generations of wisdom keepers is elegantly simple, yet transforms all it touches. Each hour, pause for one slow breath and whisper, "Right here, all is available." Chapter 16. The Current of Intuition. In a bustling seaside town, Nellie stood at crossroads, repeatedly dismissing the quiet whispers of her inner knowing. Each time a gentle urge arose, to take a different path home, to speak to a stranger, to explore an unexpected opportunity, she pushed it aside in favor of logical analysis. One by one, golden threads of possibility slipped through her fingers like grains of sand. The universe speaks first in whispers, through the gentle current of intuition flowing within you. This sacred river of knowing runs deeper than thought, truer than logic, and swifter than reason. It is your direct line to universal intelligence, a GPS system calibrated to your highest good. When you ignore these subtle promptings, you step out of the flow where abundance naturally gathers. Your analytical mind, though valuable, sees only what is visible, but intuition perceives the invisible currents of opportunity, the hidden patterns of possibility, the secret doorways to manifestation. Truth reveals itself through story. In a remote fishing village, when drought had driven the fish from familiar waters, most boats returned empty day after day. Yet one fisherman, Samuel, continued to cast his nets with abundance. While others plotted courses using charts and calculations, he listened to an inner compass that guided him to waters teeming with life. "How do you know where to go?" others asked. "I don't know," he would reply. "I simply feel where the fish are waiting." This wisdom speaks directly to your journey. Like Samuel's fish, your desires already exist, swimming in the waters of potential. Your intuition knows the way to them, sensing the currents that others cannot see. When you trust this knowing, you align with the natural flow of abundance. Every hesitation to follow your inner guidance is a moment of resistance against universal flow. Each time you override that quiet knowing with logic, you step away from the path of least resistance, the very path where your manifestations await. Your intuition is not random impulse. It is the voice of the universe speaking through you. It is ancient wisdom rising from the depths of your being. When you honor these subtle promptings, you demonstrate trust in the universal order, and the universe responds by revealing more of its secrets. To remain in this flow requires only one practice, passed down through generations of those who learned to dance with universal forces. Each evening, as the day's noise settles into silence, ask simply, "What is my next step?" Then listen quietly, honoring even the faintest nudges that arise. These whispers are your birthright, the universe's way of guiding you toward your highest good. Chapter 17. The Hidden Treasures of Contrast. In a time long past, there lived a merchant named Opal who cursed every obstacle in her path. When her trading routes became blocked, she raged against fate. When competitors undersold her wares, she blamed the universe for her misfortune. Each setback felt like a personal assault, until one dawn changed everything. On that morning, she encountered an aged silversmith working with peculiar focus. Before him lay two identical silver bowls, one pristine, the other marked with deep grooves and patterns. "Which holds more value?" he asked. When Opal pointed to the unblemished bowl, the craftsman smiled. "Look closer," he instructed, pouring water into both. The marked bowl created mesmerizing patterns of light, while the perfect one reflected nothing but sameness. This truth echoes through the ages. What appears as unwanted circumstances serves as the universe's most precise instrument of guidance. Each challenge you face is not a punishment, but a loving redirect toward your highest good. Like a river meeting rocks, the flow of life does not stop at obstacles. It creates new pathways of greater beauty. When you resist what appears unwanted, you miss the gift within the contrast. Every experience that pushes against your desire actually clarifies what you truly seek. This is the sacred dance of opposites. Through darkness, light becomes known. Through cold, warmth is appreciated. Through loss, the value of having is understood. A boy in a distant village once feared storms, wishing only for constant sunlight. Yet one night, as lightning split the sky, he witnessed how each flash revealed the landscape in brilliant clarity. In that moment, he understood. Without the darkness, he could never have seen the magnificence of light. The storm he dreaded became his greatest teacher. This wisdom speaks through the ages. Contrast is not your enemy, but your guide. When life presents what you do not want, it simultaneously illuminates what you do want with perfect precision. Each no on your path helps refine your yes. Each closed door points toward the one meant to open. The universe operates through this law of polarity. You cannot know up without down, in without out, or joy without having experienced its absence. What appears as obstacle becomes the very stepping stone toward greater clarity. The unwanted circumstance carries within it the seed of its opposite, the wanted. When you embrace this truth, resistance dissolves into recognition. Every contrast becomes a compass. Every setback transforms into a setup for greater understanding. Like the silversmith's bowl, the marks and grooves of experience create the very patterns through which light can dance most beautifully. Sacred practice. When adversity appears, gently say, "Thank you for showing me what I prefer instead." Chapter 18. The Circle of Belonging. In a small mountain village lived Pearl, who believed her spiritual journey must be walked alone. Each morning she would retreat to her cottage, closing shutters and doors, focusing intently on her desires in isolation. Though her intentions were pure, her manifestations seemed to move at the pace of winter frost. The universe speaks through synchronicity, and so it was that a wandering wise woman appeared at Pearl's gate. "I see you keep your light hidden," the woman observed. "Yet even stars shine brighter when gathered in constellations." This truth echoes through the ages. When souls unite in harmony, their power multiplies beyond measure. Just as two flames joined create more than double the light, two hearts aligned in pure intention generate manifestation force that transcends individual capability. This is the sacred mathematics of the universe. Spiritual energy compounds when shared. Think of how sound waves amplify when they meet in perfect resonance, or how the moon's pull grows stronger when aligned with the sun. So too does your creative force expand when merged with others who share your frequency. This is not mere addition, but spiritual multiplication. Long ago, in lands where rain was precious as gold, a tale emerged that speaks to this eternal truth. A village suffered through months of drought, each farmer praying separately for relief. Their individual prayers, though earnest, brought no clouds to the parched sky. Then one wise elder gathered all the villagers in the town square, directing them to hold hands and unite their intention. As their voices rose together in perfect harmony, the very air began to change. Within hours, life-giving rain poured from heavens that had remained sealed to solitary prayers. This story whispers a vital message. Manifestation was never meant to be a solitary art. The universe itself is a vast web of connection, each thread strengthening the whole. When you join your energy with another in pure intention, you tap into this cosmic web of creation. Consider how birds fly in formation, each wing beat creating uplift for those behind, allowing the flock to travel further than any bird could alone. Your spiritual journey follows the same principle. Shared intention creates spiritual uplift, carrying all participants higher than they could rise in isolation. The wisdom contained in this parable mirrors your own path. Just as those villagers discovered their collective power, you too will find that sharing your vision with another soul, who resonates with your frequency, amplifies its manifestation potential. This is not about seeking approval or validation, but about allowing your intention to dance in harmony with another's pure energy. The sacred practice that emerges from this teaching is elegantly simple. Find one person to share a vision with, holding it in joyful unity. Let your shared focus become a bridge between the seen and unseen realms, knowing that when two or more gather in spiritual harmony, the universe moves with multiplied force. Chapter 19. The Dance with Resistance. In a small village among ancient hills, Queenie stood frozen before her loom. Her fingers, usually nimble with thread, remained motionless as resistance gripped her heart. Each time she approached her craft, an invisible wall seemed to rise between her desires and their fulfillment. The universe speaks through resistance, not as a barrier but as a messenger bearing wisdom. When you feel that heavy weight pressing against your dreams, know that it carries within its depths a sacred teaching. Resistance is not your adversary. It is pure energy awaiting transformation, like water that can either flood or flow, destroy or nourish. This truth echoes through the ages. What appears to block your path often contains the very force needed to propel you forward. Your resistance holds power equal to your desire, waiting to be redirected rather than removed. In this light, what you perceive as opposition becomes opportunity. Each moment of hesitation transforms into a stepping stone toward mastery. In a distant land lived a dancer named Maya, whose feet seemed to catch on every stone. Her performances were marked by stumbles, her rehearsals filled with falls. Yet one dawn, as she watched leaves dancing with the wind rather than fighting it, understanding bloomed in her heart. She began to incorporate her stumbles into her dance, allowing each moment of resistance to flow into the next movement. Her apparent missteps became signature flourishes, her struggles transformed into grace. Soon, audiences marveled at her unique style, never knowing it was born from embracing what once blocked her path. Maya's journey mirrors the deeper truth of manifestation. When you dance with resistance rather than fight it, you unlock its hidden power. Her story teaches that the very force that seems to oppose you carries within it the seeds of your advancement. Like a river meeting a boulder, resistance doesn't stop the flow. It creates new patterns of beauty. This wisdom applies to your own path. Each time you encounter resistance, remember it arrives not to halt your progress, but to refine your direction. The universe never blocks without offering a new opening, never presents an obstacle without embedding within it a gift of growth. The art lies not in eliminating resistance, but in transforming its energy. Just as a sail catches contrary winds to propel a ship forward, your awareness can harness resistance's power to fuel your journey. This is the alchemy of spiritual physics, the conversion of opposition into opportunity. When tension rises in your being, when resistance seems to block your way, whisper playfully, "Let's dance." and move forward with lightness. This simple practice transforms the energy of opposition into the rhythm of growth, allowing what once seemed to block you to become the very force that moves you forward. Chapter 20. The Radiance of Trust. In a humble garden beside a stone cottage, Ruth paced anxiously between her newly planted rows. Each morning she dug up seeds to examine their progress, her restless hands disturbing the very life she wished to nurture. Her need to control, to see, to know, it withered the possibility of growth before it could begin. The universe operates through perfect timing, moving with a wisdom far beyond mortal understanding. When you plant a seed of intention in the fertile soil of possibility, your role shifts from creator to witness. Trust becomes your greatest ally, a gentle surrender that allows universal forces to work their timeless magic. This sacred truth flows through all creation. What you release with trust multiplies more abundantly than what you clutch with fear. Your desires are seeds already planted in the cosmic garden. They require only your trust to flourish, not your constant interference. Each time you grasp at outcomes or attempt to force results, you create resistance in the natural flow of manifestation. Like a flower that cannot be forced to bloom, your good unfolds according to divine timing. Your role is not to make it happen, but to allow it to happen, to trust in the unseen processes that have birthed countless miracles since time began. In the valleys of an ancient land lived a farmer named Thomas. Unlike others who frantically checked their fields, he understood the wisdom of patience. After planting his seeds, he simply tended the soil with love and trust. While his neighbors dug up their seeds daily to monitor progress, Thomas sang to his fields and walked among them with peaceful certainty. When harvest time arrived, his crop flourished beyond measure, while others wondered why their anxious monitoring had yielded so little. This tale illuminates a profound truth. Trust is not passive waiting, but active faith in the perfect unfolding of life. Thomas's story shows that your good is already in motion, requiring only your confident allowance to manifest fully. Like seeds beneath soil, your desires grow strongest when you trust their natural progression. Trust radiates from your being like sunlight, warming the soil of possibility. It signals to the universe your unwavering confidence in its infinite wisdom and perfect timing. This is not blind faith, but rather a deep knowing that life works tirelessly in your favor, orchestrating circumstances beyond your current vision. When you align with this truth, resistance dissolves and manifestation accelerates. Your trust becomes a beacon, drawing to you experiences that confirm your faith in life's beneficence. This is the paradox of spiritual law. What you release with trust returns multiplied. Place your hand over your chest tonight and softly affirm, "I trust the universe, fully and gladly." Part 3. The Embodiment of Manifestation. Chapter 21. The Vision Made Flesh. In a sunlit attic room, Sadie tenderly placed photographs, sketches, and treasured tokens of her dream upon a small wooden table. Each morning she would sit quietly with these symbols, not wishing or wanting, but knowing her vision already existed. As naturally as dawn follows night, her dream began taking shape in the physical world. The process of manifestation unfolds with the same certainty as a flower emerging from soil. Just as you never doubt a planted seed will sprout, given water, light, and time, your visions await only your steady nurturing to clothe themselves in physical form. The universe operates through this immutable principle. Everything exists first in the unseen before stepping into visible reality. Your role is to hold the vision with such clarity and conviction that its manifestation becomes inevitable. Like water flowing downhill, creation naturally moves from thought to form when you maintain unwavering focus. This is not magic, but natural law expressing itself through your consciousness. In the heart of an ancient city lived Ahmad, whose workshop stayed lit long into the night. He labored over an invention others claimed impossible, a device to harness the wind's whispers for light. Many laughed, calling his work foolish dreams. But Ahmad saw his creation complete in his mind's eye, touching it, using it, sharing its benefits with others before it existed in form. Night after night he refined his work, speaking to his invention as though it already functioned perfectly. When others saw only failed attempts, Ahmad saw stepping stones. His certainty never wavered, his vision never dimmed. Then, one stormy evening, as winds howled through the city's darkened streets, Ahmad's device sparked to life, illuminating homes that had never known light after sunset. Ahmad's tale mirrors the path of all creation, from invisible to visible, from conceived to conceived. His unshakable knowing transformed thought into matter, just as your sustained vision draws its physical counterpart into being. This is not wishful thinking, but the application of universal law. The key lies not in hoping or yearning, but in knowing with such completeness that doubt finds no space to root. Your dream exists now, as real as the chair you sit upon. Its manifestation is not a question of if, but when, determined by the clarity and conviction of your vision. Stand with eyes closed and declare your dream to be already here. Then open them as though the room has changed. Chapter 22. The Harmony of Alignment. In a small mountain village, Tessie played music for the local festivities. Though skilled with her instrument, something felt missing in her performances. One evening, as she prepared for an important celebration, she noticed her fingers moved mechanically while her mind wandered to worries, and her heart felt disconnected from the melody. When your thoughts, emotions, and actions move in different directions, they create discord in the universal frequency. Like three streams flowing against each other, they diminish their collective power. True manifestation emerges when every aspect of your being aligns with your intention. The universe responds not to what you think alone, nor what you feel alone, nor what you do alone, but to the harmony of all three united. When your thoughts embrace abundance, while your emotions speak of lack, when your actions contradict your desires, you send mixed signals into the cosmic field. Alignment occurs when your thoughts become the architects of your vision, your emotions infuse it with life-giving energy, and your actions dance in perfect step with both. This trinity of power creates an unstoppable force that the universe must answer, for it speaks in one pure voice that echoes through the chambers of creation. In a grand cathedral, a choir gathered to perform for the king. Despite years of individual training, their voices clashed in jarring discord. The conductor, wise in the ways of harmony, gathered them in a circle and spoke. Each voice alone rings beautiful, but true power emerges when all vibrate as one. Hour after hour, they practiced not just the notes, but the feeling behind them. They learned to listen to each other, to blend their voices until individual sounds disappeared into a unified wave of music. When the king arrived, the cathedral filled with such sublime harmony that listeners spoke of angels descending to earth. This choir's journey mirrors your own path to manifestation. When your thoughts, emotions, and actions resonate at the same frequency, you become an instrument through which the universe plays its grandest melodies. No force can resist the power of such alignment, for it speaks the very language of creation. Like tuning forks vibrating in perfect sympathy, aligned beings draw their desires effortlessly. Your thoughts become the score, your emotions the instruments, and your actions the performance, all playing the same divine song. Each morning ask, do my thoughts, feelings, and actions harmonize today? Adjust where needed for resonance. Chapter 23. The Lighthouse Within. In the heart of a bustling marketplace, Una rushed from stall to stall, pursuing each fleeting chance at success. Her days blurred into an endless chase, leaving her exhausted and unfulfilled. Until one morning, as dawn painted the sky, she encountered a wise woman sitting peacefully by the fountain. "Why do you run so?" the woman asked, her voice gentle as morning mist. "To catch my fortune before it escapes," Una replied, breathless. The woman smiled. "The universe operates through attraction, not pursuit. Your role is not to chase, but to become." This truth echoes across the ages. True manifestation flows from who you are, not what you do. When you align your being with your desires, you transform into a magnetic force. Like a flower needs not chase the bee, your authentic radiance naturally draws your good to you. The power lies not in seeking, but in shining. Each time you strengthen your inner light, through clarity of purpose, steadfast belief, and unwavering gratitude, you broadcast a signal that the universe cannot ignore. Your role is to cultivate such brightness that what you seek cannot help but find you. In the mountains lived a lighthouse keeper who understood this principle well. Night after night, he tended his light, never once leaving his post to guide ships personally. Yet through storms and darkness, countless vessels found safe harbor by his steady beam. His power lay not in movement, but in radiance. So too must you become as the lighthouse, steady, bright, and certain. Your light, when maintained with devotion, calls forth all that belongs in your life. The universe responds not to desperate pursuit, but to the unwavering signal of your inner certainty. This ancient truth reveals itself. Manifestation flows naturally to those who master their own radiance. Like the lighthouse keeper, your power lies not in chasing dreams across turbulent seas, but in shining so brightly that dreams navigate their way to you. The practice of becoming this beacon requires no movement, only presence. Each evening, find a quiet space and close your eyes. Feel yourself as pure light, steady and strong. Let this light fill every cell of your being until you sense yourself glowing like a star. Know that this radiance draws all your desires to you effortlessly, naturally, perfectly. Chapter 24. The Infinite Supply. In a small mountain village, Vera clutched her meager coins, heart heavy with worry about tomorrow's needs. Each morning she counted her resources obsessively, watching them dwindle like autumn leaves falling from a tree. The more she focused on what she lacked, the more scarcity seemed to shadow her steps. Within you lies this same tendency to measure what seems missing rather than sense what eternally flows. The universe operates not through limitation, but through endless expansion. Like waves that never cease their rhythm upon the shore, abundance moves in perpetual motion. What appears as shortage is merely a temporary veil drawn across infinite supply. When you perceive lack, you align with its frequency, becoming blind to the countless channels through which abundance seeks to reach you. The universe knows no exhaustion, no emptiness, no end. It is a well that replenishes itself endlessly, waiting only for you to lower your bucket with trust rather than trepidation. In an ancient valley, a community gathered around their only well, which had served generations. One summer, the water level dropped until only mud remained. The villagers mourned their misfortune, rationing the last of their stored water. But among them lived an old woman who remembered the whispers of her grandmother about deeper veins of water flowing beneath the earth. While others saw only drought, she perceived possibility. She urged them to dig deeper, and soon their efforts revealed a stronger flow than ever before, fed by underground rivers they had never known existed. This truth mirrors your relationship with abundance. When surface resources seem to diminish, deeper currents await discovery. The appearance of limitation simply invites you to expand your awareness of supply's endless nature. Every perceived shortage carries within it the seed of greater abundance, just as the seemingly dry well led to the discovery of richer waters. The universe operates through overflow, not scarcity. Your task is not to generate abundance, but to align with its eternal presence. Like air that surrounds you always, plenty exists as your natural state. You need only shift your perception from the illusion of lack to the reality of infinite supply. As you breathe, picture air as abundance, boundless, endless, sufficient, and know it mirrors money, love, and opportunity. Chapter 25. The Sacred Yes. In a small village among ancient hills, Willa spent her days in hesitation. Each morning she would stand at her window, watching merchants pass through the marketplace, their wagons laden with exotic treasures. Her heart yearned to open her own shop, yet her lips formed only maybe and someday. The universe speaks in the language of certainty. When you stand at the crossroads of possibility, it awaits your command. Like a vast ocean of potential, it responds not to wishful thinking, but to decisive agreement. Your yes becomes the key that unlocks the gates of manifestation. Consider how water flows. It does not question its path or debate its destination. It simply agrees with gravity's pull and moves with unwavering certainty. So too must your spirit flow with the current of creation, carried by the power of agreement. Once there lived a traveler named Rashid who dwelled in the safety of his familiar walls. For years he dreamed of distant shores but could never bring himself to step beyond his threshold. Each dawn whispered opportunities, yet he remained bound by uncertainty. Then one morning, something shifted within his heart. Instead of his usual hesitation, he spoke a clear, resounding yes to the journey that beckoned. As soon as these words left his lips, the universe began to move. A merchant caravan appeared in his village that very afternoon, seeking an extra hand. Gold coins surfaced mysteriously in his garden while preparing to leave. Even the weather aligned perfectly for his departure. What had seemed impossible manifested with elegant simplicity, all because he finally agreed to receive his adventure. This tale mirrors the eternal truth of creation. Agreement is the fertile soil from which manifestation grows. When you say yes to life's invitation, you activate a divine current that carries you toward your desires. Your agreement becomes the bridge between what is and what could be. Just as a river cannot flow upstream, abundance cannot flow against the current of your doubt. But when you align your words, thoughts, and heart in agreement with your desires, you create a channel through which the universe can deliver its gifts. Let your yes ring clear through the chambers of your heart. Whether whispered in silence or declared aloud, it carries the power to reshape reality. The universe awaits your agreement, ready to transform possibility into presence. Each evening, find a quiet moment and practice this sacred ritual. Whisper yes to your deepest desire 3 times and feel the current surge through your being. Chapter 26. The Freedom of Forgiveness. In a garden where roses once bloomed, Zinnia tended only to thorns. Each morning she watered her grievances until they grew tall as trees, casting shadows across her path. The weight of past hurts bent her shoulders, and her dreams withered in the shade of what could not be undone. You hold within your hands a power greater than any force of nature, the ability to release what binds you. When you clutch tightly to wrongs endured, you become like a bird gripping a branch so fiercely it forgets it has wings to fly. The universe cannot fill hands already full of resentment. The law of attraction responds not to what you deserve, but to what you allow to flow through you. Each grievance held becomes a dam, blocking the river of abundance that seeks to reach you. Yet in the moment of release, these waters surge forward with renewed force, carrying fresh possibilities upon their current. Think of how a garden grows. It requires space. No seed can take root in soil packed too tightly with stones of yesterday's hurts. As you release each burden, you create sacred space for new life to flourish. This is the alchemy of forgiveness, transforming the heavy metals of resentment into golden opportunities for growth. Long ago, a man named Solomon sat in a prison cell, raging against those who had placed him there. Day after day he plotted revenge, his anger echoing off stone walls. His cell grew smaller with each bitter thought until he could barely breathe. One night, exhausted from fury, he reached into his pocket and felt something cold, a key. It had been there all along, waiting for the moment he would release his grip on vengeance long enough to notice its presence. With trembling hands, he turned the key in the lock. As the door swung open, he understood. His true imprisonment had been self-imposed. His captors had gone years ago, yet he had stayed, held by invisible chains of his own making. This truth extends to your own life. The key to your freedom rests not in changing others or rewriting the past, but in releasing your grip on what was. Every act of forgiveness becomes a key, unlocking doors to possibilities that resentment kept hidden from view. The universe stands ready with gifts meant for you alone, yet it cannot place them in hands still clenched around old hurts. In releasing others, you release yourself. In freeing the past, you free your future. Each night, breathe deeply and release one burden with the words, "I free you, I free me." Chapter 27. The Dance of Inspired Action. In a small valley among rolling hills, Yvette spent her days dreaming of opening a healing center. She visualized every detail: the warmth of sunlight through crystal windows, the gentle music floating through corridors, the peaceful faces of those who would find solace within its walls. Yet month after month, her vision remained suspended in imagination. One morning, as she walked through a grove of ancient trees, she encountered a painter. His canvas blazed with colors that seemed to dance in the early light. "I waited years for inspiration," he shared, cleaning his brush with practiced care, "until I realized waiting itself was keeping the art locked inside. The moment I lifted my brush, not knowing what would emerge, the universe painted through me." This truth resonates through the ages. Manifestation flourishes not in passive waiting, but in the sacred dance of aligned action. When you move in harmony with your inner guidance, the universe responds with magnificent synchronicity. Each step taken with joy becomes a beacon, calling forth forces beyond your comprehension. The painter's story mirrors an eternal principle. Inspiration doesn't precede action, it follows it. As his brush touched canvas that first time, creativity poured through him like a river breaking through a dam. Similarly, your dreams await your first step, your willingness to begin without seeing the entire path. Action aligned with joy creates a magnetic field of possibility. It signals to the universe your readiness to receive. Think of water flowing through a channel. It moves effortlessly where space has been created for its journey. Your inspired action creates these channels through which abundance naturally flows. The mistake lies in believing we must wait for perfect conditions or complete clarity. The universe speaks through subtle impulses, gentle nudges toward tiny actions that feel light and joyful. These seemingly small steps, when taken consistently, forge pathways for miracles to travel. Remember, action need not feel heavy or forced. When aligned with your inner truth, it carries the lightness of a leaf floating downstream. The painter didn't strain or struggle. He simply began, allowing each brushstroke to guide the next. Your role is not to force manifestation, but to partner with it through willing motion. Like a dance where you follow and lead simultaneously, trust the rhythm of inspired action. The universe matches your movement with opportunities, connections, and resources you could never have planned. Ancient wisdom practice. Each day, pause and ask yourself, what tiny step feels joyful toward my dream? Then, without hesitation or doubt, take that step immediately. Trust that in this simple action, you activate forces far greater than yourself. The universe responds not to what you plan to do tomorrow, but to what you do today with an open heart. Chapter 28. The Radiant Overflow. In a remote mountain village, Zelda tended her flourishing garden, keeping its bounty carefully contained within her walls. Each morning, she would count her ripening fruits and vegetables, taking pride in her private abundance, yet something felt incomplete in her solitary feast. The universe speaks through the smallest moments. One morning, as Zelda watered her plants, she noticed water pooling at the garden's edge, trapped by the stone wall she had built. In that moment, a profound truth revealed itself. Abundance held too tightly becomes stagnant. Just as water must flow to remain pure, wealth in all its forms, material, spiritual, emotional, must circulate to maintain its vital force. The universe operates not through reservation but through endless giving. Every star shines not for itself but for all who gaze upward. Every cloud releases its rain, not to a chosen few but to wherever the winds carry it. When you grasp this eternal principle, you understand that true abundance isn't measured by what you accumulate, but by what flows through you to others. Your role is not to be a reservoir, but a channel through which the universe's infinite supply can flow. In a distant valley lived an old gardener who discovered this secret through his humble fountain. For years he tried to contain its waters within a small stone basin, constantly repairing cracks that appeared. One spring morning, he surrendered to its natural flow, allowing the water to spill beyond its confines. To his amazement, this overflow created streams that nourished the entire garden, transforming barren soil into lush paradise. The more the fountain gave, the stronger its flow became. This simple truth lies at the heart of universal abundance. What you allow to overflow from your life multiplies in ways you cannot imagine. Each act of sharing opens new channels for prosperity to flow. When you release the need to contain and control your good fortune, you align with the universe's natural rhythm of giving and receiving. The fountain's story mirrors your own potential. You are not meant to be a vessel that merely holds abundance. You are designed to be a source from which it flows. When you share your time, your wisdom, your resources, or your love, you're not diminishing your supply. Instead, you're declaring to the universe your readiness to be a channel for greater abundance. Your practice for embodying this wisdom is beautiful in its simplicity. Today, share something, time, words, resource, as overflow, knowing it multiplies infinitely. Let this not be an act of sacrifice or calculation, but a joyful recognition that you are part of the universe's endless cycle of giving. Chapter 29. The Merging with Source. In a bustling city, Abigail moved through crowds feeling strangely isolated. Though surrounded by life, she experienced a deep sense of separation, as if walking through existence behind an invisible veil. Each prayer felt like a message sent to distant shores, each intention like a wish cast into void spaces. Truth flows like water. It finds its way into every crevice of understanding. The universe does not exist apart from you, nor you from it. This sacred teaching reveals that source energy flows not to you, but through you, as you. Every breath you take is the universe breathing. Every heartbeat is cosmic rhythm expressing itself through form. When you grasp this eternal principle, manifestation transforms from external process to internal recognition. You are not reaching out to some distant power. You are awakening to the power that has always resided within. The ocean does not grant water to its waves. The waves are the ocean expressing itself in motion. A bird once lost its way in a storm, circling frantically through dark clouds. Exhausted, it settled on a branch and closed its eyes. In that moment of stillness, it discovered something remarkable. The same sky it searched for desperately existed in every cell of its being. Its wings didn't need to find the wind. They were born of it, one with it, eternal expressions of flight itself. This truth illuminates the fundamental nature of your existence. You are not separate from the force you seek to harness. Your desires arise not from lack, but from the universe experiencing itself through your unique form. When you whisper your dreams, it is source energy speaking to itself through you. Each manifestation flows not from external permission, but from internal recognition. You are not learning to attract. You are remembering that you are attraction itself. You are not learning to create. You are awakening to your nature as creation itself. Sit quietly, breathe, and repeat. I am never separate. I am Source, expressing life. Chapter 30. The Eternal Gift. Through seasons of seeking, Belle walked the pathways of manifestation until a gentle revelation dawned within her heart. The true treasure was not in the fruits that fell into her open hands, but in the sacred dance of creation itself. Each morning, she noticed how fulfilled desires gave birth to new ones, like breath following breath in an eternal rhythm. You stand now at the threshold of understanding that surpasses mere achievement. The universe has never intended for you to reach a final destination, for in the ending of one desire lives the seed of the next. This is not evidence of lack, but proof of life's endless expansion through you. When you align with this infinite flow, you recognize that every manifestation is not a conclusion, but a continuation. Each dream realized opens doorways to grander visions. Each gift received carries within it the whisper of greater possibilities. You are not meant to arrive and stop, but to flow and grow eternally. In a distant valley, there stood an apple tree that first bore a single fruit. The farmer who tended it might have been satisfied with that one apple, yet the tree knew better. Season after season, it produced more abundantly, its branches reaching wider, its roots growing deeper. The single apple was not the gift. The tree's endless capacity to create was the true blessing. This parable speaks to the nature of your relationship with the universe. You are not meant to manifest one desire and rest. Like the tree, you are designed for continuous creation, each achievement fertilizing the soil for new growth. The joy lies not in reaching an end, but in the eternal dance of becoming. Your role as co-creator with the universe is not a temporary assignment, but an eternal position. Each desire that stirs within you is the universe's invitation to dance again, to create anew, to explore another facet of infinite possibility. The greatest gift is not in what you receive, but in knowing you stand as an eternal channel through which universal abundance flows endlessly. Your desires are not burdens to be fulfilled and discarded, but precious signals guiding you toward endless expansion. In the quiet moments of your day, find a peaceful space and speak these words with your heart. I give thanks not only for what now appears in my life, but for the endless stream of goodness yet to flow. I am grateful, not just for today's gifts, but for tomorrow's dreams stirring within me. This practice aligns you with the eternal nature of creation, acknowledging that each ending is truly a beginning, each arrival a new departure, each manifestation a doorway to greater possibilities. If you enjoyed this audiobook, I created a free ebook version for you. You can download it using the link in the pinned comment. Conclusion. The moment has come to close these sacred chapters, yet what truly closes is merely one chapter in your eternal dance with the universe. These teachings found their way to you not by chance, but through the magnetic power of your own readiness. Like a key turning in an ancient lock, your spiritual preparedness has granted you access to this timeless wisdom. Through each teaching, through every parable shared, you have awakened to a profound understanding. The universe is not some distant force to be petitioned, but the very essence of your being. When you speak, it is the universe finding voice through you. When you dream, it is the universe painting visions through your imagination. When you act with purpose, it is the universe moving through your hands. The gift of universe is not something to be earned or achieved. It is your natural inheritance, as innate as your breath, as intimate as your heartbeat. Every moment of clarity, every surge of gratitude, every whisper of trust has been a conversation with infinite intelligence, and in each instance it has responded with perfect precision, shaping reality to match your inner knowing. You need not strain to remember these teachings, for they have already taken root in the fertile soil of your consciousness. They live in you now, as naturally as the air you breathe. With each step you take beyond these chapters, you carry within you the power to command creation. Your thoughts are no longer mere musings, but sacred instructions to the universe. Your emotions are no longer just feelings, but frequencies that tune the cosmic radio to your chosen station. The gift you hold is not this book, but the recognition it has awakened within you. You are the universe expressing itself in human form, creating through your choices, manifesting through your focus, blessing through your presence. Every word you speak ripples through the fabric of reality. Every loving thought multiplies into miracles. Every moment of trust opens new pathways of possibility. Your readiness called forth these teachings, but your becoming, your continued expansion, will call forth worlds yet unimagined. The universe waits with infinite patience and perfect timing to dance with you, to create with you, to express through you. It has always been so and will always be thus, for you are its beloved expression, its cherished voice, its chosen instrument.
If you enjoyed this exclusive audiobook, I handpicked this next book which will change your life.